From bottom to summit. Some people would rather jerk out one of their teeth than speak before a live audience. Once upon a time, I felt this way too. Each time I had to make a presentation, my knees knocked so loudly they drowned out my quavering voice. Making any kind of eye contact with the audience intimidated me, so I gawked at the note cards shaking in my hand. I did not conquer my fear of public speaking until I worked for years at the Oak Ridge Operations Office, Department of Energy. Since my job required me to do presentations and workshops for a variety of audiences, it was imperative that I improve my speaking skills. Along with several friends, I joined Toastmasters International. Through weekly meetings, I learned to present different types of speeches. I gained confidence and ability as experienced speakers mentored and evaluated me. Eventually, I grew more comfortable talking in front of an audience, even though I didn't always make sense. I learned to speak slowly and tell anecdotes every 2 to 3 minutes to keep people from falling asleep. I also learned to project myself with energy and to enjoy myself while giving the talk. When my book, Life Among the Lilliputians, was published, my speaking career skyrocketed. I spoke to church groups, schools, civic organizations, writing groups, home demonstration clubs, retired groups, women's groups, office professionals, teachers, etc. Since I tailor my talk to each group, preparing for a speech can be time-consuming. Fortunately, I save all my presentations on the computer to aid in revising and rewriting material. Just because you're an author and a speaker doesn't mean everyone in the audience is a fan, however. At a luncheon I spoke at recently, a lady came by my table and asked if I wrote for Anderson County Visions magazine. "Yes, I do," I replied. "Do you read my column?" "No," she said. "I only read one column in there, and it's not yours." One of my most enjoyable recent presentations was for the Episcopal School of Knoxville. When I walked into the school, I was surprised that every student who saw me greeted me by name. The school had prepared for my visit by checking me out on Google and researching my website, www.judyjabber.com. Some of the classes wrote comments on a special web page established my visit. I was tickled to read some of the comments that began, "Dear Miss Jabber." The highlight of my presentations this year was an invitation to be the keynote speaker for a Knoxville medical group hosting their annual Patient Appreciation Luncheon. Approximately 250 people were invited. I was thrilled to accept the invitation and look forward to a prestigious speaking engagement. A few weeks later, I received an email rescinding the invitation. A well-known celebrity had just become a patient of the medical group and volunteered to be the guest speaker. It was none other than Lady Vol's basketball coach, Pat Summitt. I was flattered to hear she was the speaker who benched me. I don't know what the future holds for me in terms of speaking engagements, but I feel I can handle anything. After all, I've already traveled from the bottom to the summit.